So how do you go from a beginner to a pro internet marketer? I'm going to tell you now on this episode of the Unlock Success Podcast.
This is the Unlock Success Podcast. We're helping entrepreneurs around the world dive deep into the keys you need to shatter excuses, believe in yourself, and help you achieve your highest goals. Here's your host, 8-figure entrepreneur and the living legend of internet marketing, Anthony Morrison.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this edition of the Unlock Success Podcast. So my name is Anthony Morrison and excited to have you join me here, where today we're going to talk about how to go from an amateur to a pro internet marketer. Now, I started the Unlock Success Podcast a year ago because I wanted an outlet, a way to talk about some of the things in, not the X's and O's, not the click here, click there, do this, do that, but the things that really you have to understand both as an entrepreneur and then just as a person in general to be super successful in anything that you do, not just business, but maybe relationships and your health and fitness and all of those things. And so I'm glad to have you joining me. Super excited to have you joining me for the podcast, and hopefully the message that we're going to share with you in the next few minutes is something that resonates with you and something that helps you as you really work towards achieving more success in anything that you do. I'm going to talk about the mindset and the strategies that beginners on the internet use versus the mindset and the strategies that people who do this as their full-time living use, right? For example, beginners tend to think about, the immediate benefit, right? So beginners tend to think about the immediate benefit of making a few dollars, right? They want to build their business perfectly on day one, right? They start running ads and they want to be profitable today. They put $5 in, they want $6 back, right? Then maybe within a month, they expect to see an insane profit, right? And that just continues to run day in and day out. Whereas a pro is looking at different metrics. They see the profit and they think about how they can reinvest that into their business. They look at how their email list is growing and they think about how their profits over time will overcome the cost of running their business. And they're adapting every day and making tweaks and changes, knowing that it'll never be perfect, right? So as you can see, the mindset of a beginner is very different from the mindset of a pro. And so I want to talk a little bit about that today because I think it's something that's going to resonate with you if you're trying to build a business online. And it's not because I want to scare you or make you feel bad if you're just getting started. That's far from the truth. I really want to record today's episode, honestly, to inspire you to think differently about your business, right? And to let you know that if you haven't seen the results that you're looking for yet, you may be much further along than you think if you just shift your perspective, right? So what I want to do is I want to get into kind of the details of how we shift our perspective. When I first started my internet business, I did basic affiliate marketing, okay? Very basic. It was put an ad up, spend money, send people to a page, and hope that this page, when they hit this page, makes more money, okay, than what I spent on this ad. It was a very immediate ROI. And that was all I cared about. It was spend $1, make more than $1. And that was it, right? It was very basic. As I began to understand more about marketing and got deeper into the marketing fields and really building a business, I realized that there's an ecosystem, right? That's really needed in order to build a business. Now, when I spend $1 on an ad, I'm okay if I only make back 70 cents. Right? Now, why is that? Well, it's because everything that's happening after that person comes into what I call my ecosystem, into my world, into my business, that's what's really taking over and making me money. As a professional marketer, you start looking at things like LTV, lifetime value, right? Your CPA, the cost to acquire a customer. And you start looking at what is it costing me to acquire this customer and what is the lifetime value of a customer, right? And then you start dialing in, how can I get customers for less money than their lifetime value is? And that's how you win in the long game. When I started my business, I was so focused on an immediate return on my investment. And while I was making good money then, right, I was able to generate a decent amount of revenue. Looking back on it, I realized I made a lot of mistakes. I realized that I could have made way more money if I had understood that there's an ecosystem to all of this. It's not just a basic, just a basic, put $1 in, get $1 out, put an ad up, promote one thing. And, the money that I made was great back then. It was millions of dollars, but I think I would have 10x that had I just understood that a shifting of my mindset to get more customers and then generate more revenue through an ecosystem would have been more profitable for me. And that's what I've done with my Partner with Anthony program. I've got a program we launched a couple years ago called Partner with Anthony, and it's basically an entire ecosystem, right? It is literally what I do to a T. We just simply give it to our students and let them use it as their own. And what we've seen students that are able to now start to understand that it's not about, did I make back, if I spent $100 today on advertising, did I make it all back today? It's about, if I spent $100 today on advertising, how much did my whole ecosystem make today? Oh, it made $225. Awesome. That's all I care about. And that has shifted the mindset of so many people that are really beginners into start thinking like professional marketers. And that's how you begin to grow. That's how you scale. Nobody scales trying to put $1 in and get at least $1.01 back. We scale by putting $1 in and getting as much back as possible, but knowing our numbers and knowing how we're going to be able to scale long term through LTV, lifetime value. So you need an ecosystem, right? You cannot scale your business without an ecosystem that is there to generate revenue for you after you bring in customers. So, listen, if you're listening to me into this podcast on, Spotify or Apple or wherever, you can check it out. You can go to partnerwithanthony.com and you can literally just check out what I'm talking about, this ecosystem approach. If you happen to be tuning in on YouTube, then we'll put a link right below the video. You can check out the Partner with Anthony ecosystem, and it shows you the difference in what beginners think and what, like full-time marketers think. If you want to make a few dollars, you think this way. If you want to have a real successful business, you think this way. And I think that's really the message for today from this podcast is shift your mindset. If you are a beginner and you're struggling, it might not be that your business isn't working. It might just simply be that you haven't completed the whole puzzle. You don't have the whole ecosystem built out. So you need to make sure that you have the full scope, the full puzzle, everything in place so that your business has a chance to be successful, right? So a lot of times we try to simplify it and say, promote this one thing, make this $1, but that's not really how marketing works. That's not really how business works. I don't even know a business that does that. They all have some type of back-end ecosystem designed to generate revenue and help make back the money that they lost from advertising. So, again, if you're listening to me on your favorite little podcast app, then check it out. Just go to partnerwithanthony.com and look at it, and you'll see where we discuss and outline the ecosystem. And of course, if you're on YouTube, just click the link that you see below this, and you'll be able to check it out. But more importantly, the message from today is build an ecosystem, shift your mindset. If you want to be a successful marketer, quit worrying about how much return you got today and start looking at values like lifetime value. That's how, when you start thinking about those things, you're on the right track for massive success and for being able to scale your business. I hope this message resonates with you. I hope it's helped you just kind of shift your thinking just a little bit. And of course, I hope you'll join me next week for another edition of the Unlock Success Podcast.